I just have a couple of quick moments here to update you on some of the things that we get feedback from the card brands. We have the opportunity to speak to their data compromise teams and get intelligence on exactly what's happening now and what they see in the space. And so with that, here's the report that we have from MasterCard. Their account data compromise team was nice enough to spend some time on the phone with Mike and I last week and give us sort of their overview on the data that they have for calendar year 2018 at the moment. And so most of this data and information is focused on the incidents that they see related to terminal servicers, which is where in the MasterCard world they classify us. The first point was that 2018 volume was similar to 2017 volume. They did not see any major increase or decrease in breaches or incidents related to terminal servicers. 50% of the merchants that they did investigations on did not have EMV in place, and some of their commentary around that was a little surprising to them. They feel that merchants that are not implementing EMV at this point are potentially at higher risk than those that have. They noted that some compromises had occurred where P2PE was deployed but not configured correctly. Of particular note, where point-to-point encryption was in use correctly, no breaches, absolutely no incidents or no loss of data. And we saw from Bob's slide there about the British Airways incident, one of the interesting changes in the e-com space is that instead of breaching into a database and trying to harvest or mine card data, the change in the e-commerce world has really gone to compromising data that's in flight as somebody's actually doing a purchase, capturing that data that's in movement and compromising it. Integrators are still the prime target because we're a one-to-many opportunity. They see us, they understand us now, they understand that we frequently have remote access into our merchants, and so we are number one target for many of the more sophisticated malicious attackers out there. The integrator compromise leads to a merchant subset that did not upgrade. So one of the things that MasterCard is seeing is that when a POS servicer or installer is compromised, that they see a portion of the install base is secure and has been upgraded and is using current technologies, but there's frequently some group that is not upgraded, and there's usually some story behind that. They have hardware that won't take the newest upgrade. There's some limitation on the software that's in place, and they see that that's high risk, and the feedback to integrators is to look at your entire install base, your entire customer base, and prioritize getting everybody up to a secure level. Typical integrator compromise cause is spear phishing, okay? Number one way that they get in to get access to our remote access systems. And then the propagation from the integrator to the merchant is very quick. Frequently, it's the same day. It's always less than 5 days. So there are a couple of important prevention tactics for us to give consideration to. The first one is devaluing data. That is the absolute number one thing that we can do to protect our merchants. If you don't want to have a bank robbery, don't keep cash in the bank. Okay, that's the concept behind it. We have a relatively easy way to do that, and that's by deploying point-to-point encryption that is adopted at different levels across different products. But if you have an option available to deploy point-to-point encryption for your merchants, do it. Absolutely do it. It will prevent the data compromises. Utilize secure multi-factor remote access. That should be a given for all of us at this point. That's how they're getting in. That's why they're attacking us. That's how they're getting into our customers and our merchants. Make sure that we have multi-factor authentication in place for remote access. Defend against spear phishing, and this was pretty interesting. Spear phishing, to gather the data and the intelligence for successful spear phishing, and you heard it a little bit this morning, and even with Bob, consider your public data footprint. As an owner of a point-of-sale integrator, the ability for a malicious attacker to go out to your LinkedIn page, to your Facebook page, to find out the name of a child of yours, and to be able to send an email to somebody on your technical support team to do some action. Again, that emotion and that urgency, if they get that personal information from your Facebook, LinkedIn, other social media places, it's very easy for them to leverage that. Give some consideration to exactly what you're putting out there on social media. You are a prime target for malicious attackers. The staff training, the reality is that spear phishing will occur. People will click on things. It's about training your staff and trying to minimize that and being able to be reactive to it once it does occur. I don't want to harp on what Bob said. It was all absolutely terrific stuff. The QIR certification program is both designed to give us education and information that if we implement that, it will secure our merchant base, as well as give us that get-out-of-jail-free card. Give us that ability to show both to our merchants and any other regulators or other people that are involved that we have taken the reasonable steps expected of us as an integrator to secure the merchants. And lastly, I just want to share, once again, at the association level, we have a data security initiative that John and the team execute on every day. That initiative is, the first component of that is to educate and support RSPA reseller members to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. There's a tremendous opportunity for us, we're going to hear some more about that later, to utilize security as a selling point and as an important role that we play for our customers. The second point in the initiative is to engage with the PCI Security Council and card brands to further the interest of the RSPA reseller members. We just completed a 2-year stint on the PCI Council Board of Advisors that allowed us to influence some of the changes that you saw with the QIR program that occurred last year, as well as to generate contacts and a level of communication with the council and with the card brands that we've never had before. We're no longer a part of that Board of Advisors for the current 2-year term, but we continue to have those contacts, and all of those organizations remain committed to supporting us and supporting the data security initiative for our members. And the third one is to collaborate with other industry associations on common payment security concerns, both upstream and downstream. That's a continual work in progress. You'll see us working with different organizations. John and the team attended the NRF show and have started some great conversations with NRF around that. But if anybody has any contacts or relationships with some of the executives in those organizations, we'd love to utilize those, and we'd love to figure out where we have common ground to help talk to end user merchants about the importance of payment security and the value that our resellers can provide. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Ashley. Thank you.